Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my top 10 albums of the decade. So, every year I look through pretty much every single album that comes out over the course of the year, whether it's from a big name artist or even someone as simple as, I don't know, Ninja Sex Party. I look at and listen to every album and determine my favorites. And while I could make a video just explaining my 10 favorites of 2019, I think that it's a bigger deal with it being the end of 2019 to count down my favorites of the entire 2010s, of the entire decade. Now, I'm a big music fan. I love music. I love listening to music. I love just everything about it. I mean, I can't really play music personally. I'm not a singer, unless you count karaoke, which, I don't. But it's still a lot of fun, and I listen to it every day, no matter what kind of music it is. And I'm not just talking about, oh, I will watch a YouTube video that happens to have some music in it. No, I actively, will put on either Spotify or some music playlists or something to listen to every day. Now, as for the rules for this list, um, simply put, the album has to have been released from 2010 on. That's pretty much the big rule. There's I can have as many of an artist as possible or whatnot. That doesn't matter. But the album has to have come out in the 2010s. And if an album maybe came out digitally or something in 2009, but then was released physically in 2010 or whatever, that would count. Um, all I'm saying is that it has to have been released officially in some way in the 2010s. Um, Now, I'm not going to include Christmas albums. I am not going to include Christmas albums because I feel like it's music for the most part you only listen to at one point of the year. And as such, I feel like it's very focused and niche. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great Christmas albums out there. Sia has a fantastic Christmas album, for example, from the 2010s. But I want to focus on music that you can listen to at any time, music that is just all encompassing for any time of the year. Um, I will also not be including any movie soundtracks or soundtracks from shows or yada yada. So there will be, for example, no soundtrack from Ruby. There will be no My Little Pony movie soundtrack, stuff like that. That while having come out in the 2010s, I am not including just because I feel like, again, they're very niche and very specific to the content they were made for. Like Ruby's music by Jeff and Casey Lee Williams can be very much enjoyed outside of the context of the show, but I feel like having that context makes it as good as it is. And as such, I don't feel it fair to really count it. And it goes that goes with pretty much, again, any of these kind of examples. Now, of course, if a song from any of these albums are used in a movie, that's a completely separate thing. But I'm just not going to include any specific soundtracks that were made for a movie. And usually they'll just say right on them, this is the yada yada movie soundtrack. But otherwise, it's pretty much fair game. This is going, again, off of my lists from all years since 2010, including this year. And yes, there are technically a few albums left to come out this year, but based on what they are, who they're by, all that, I really doubt they'll make top 10 for me. I think that for 2019, I've got my top 10 set. So yeah, I think it's fair to make this list. And again, this will be for all years from 2010 to 2019. Um, So there's a lot of albums to go that I had to go through. Even just going off of my lists, my top tens from each year, it's like that's still a lot I had to listen to again. Um, or at least check on like the track listings and remember what songs were in each album. um, Now the link down in the description below obviously leads to the list itself. Um, the reason I am doing it this way is so I can give you an example track from the album. Uh, One of, if not my favorite song. In fact, yeah, my favorite song from each of the albums um, listed. That will be in the video. I think it's the best way rather than just talk about it because personally I find it hard to talk about like why I like certain music. I just do. I just think it sounds good. There's no deep reasons. I can't like tell you all the specifics of how a track is made, all the instrumentals they use, how they like connect it all together. I don't know that kind of stuff. That doesn't matter to me. It's just about how it sounds. um, so yeah. Uh, Rather than explain it, this will be a clip show. I'll be showing again my favorite song from each of the albums. If that song has a music video, I will use the music video, obviously. But that being said, I thank you so much for tuning in to this top 10. And tell me down in the comments below, what are some of your favorite albums from the decade? What music did you really get into in the 2010s? Tell me down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I hope you enjoy.